Hello, my name is Brett Zuber, and this is our assignment for Path to Leadership, the technology course. Interestingly enough, I'm the principal at Belding High School, and we started with a very large technology initiative actually 2 years ago. We passed a big bond, a $38 million bond that included everything from major renovations to several of the buildings, including ours, new gymnasium, auditorium, all new technology upgrades, which has been a wonderful thing for our school and our community. The biggest thing that has occurred with this is this past year, when school started this year, each and every student at Belding area schools, grades 6 through 12, received their very own iPad. This was a big step. We're kind of a smaller rural community. Was met with a little nervousness, trepidation from both staff members, myself, and several parents in the community, but it's turned out to be a very good thing. We've had a couple glitches along the way with appropriate use, which happens, but overall it's been a wonderful thing for our students to be able to become global and learn and have the same access that students anywhere in the world would have to the World Wide Web and everything that that has to offer. Kind of a little background on that. It's been at least a 2-year process. We've done an awful lot of professional development with our staff. Lots of different consultants have come in to prepare them, because it's not only adding new technology, but it's actually teaching differently as well. Learning how to incorporate this technology into the classroom. It's a big investment. Something that we don't want to just. One way I heard it put is bolting technology on top of the way you've always been teaching isn't going to really help us progress further with modern learning the way we need to. So we've been doing a lot of professional development. Our staff has been unbelievable with wanting to be open to this and the changes. And I think it's really helped our students quite a bit. Some of the benefits that we've seen so far is the ease of communication between staff and students. If a student has a question about an assignment, maybe isn't real comfortable raising their hand or asking a question in class, they can email the teacher, they can send the teacher a quick message and get a response. Or if they get home and realize they've got a question, they can ask the teacher that way too, and our staff is great about responding as well. One thing that's been pretty neat this year is both when students and or staff members have been absent, staff members can do what I'm doing right now and tape a lecture, which has made it much easier for a lot of our substitute teachers and a lot nicer for a lot of our students who maybe, if they're absent, can also see the lecture. We have some teachers that are utilizing the flipped classroom component, and that way students can actually watch lectures over if they're having questions, or if they need to retake some notes, or if they need some clarification, they can watch a lecture more than once, as opposed to scrambling and writing down notes as fast as they can and then moving on to something else. So that's been very big for them. Another nice thing that's happened is the immediate feedback that students receive and staff receives. One of our teachers uses an app on the iPad for their tests and quizzes, where they can watch at their desk as all students are taking their quizzes. It's displayed on their screen how far along they are in the quiz and exactly what questions have been answered, and how they've been answering them. So they can tell immediately if on question 4, 35% of the class, only 35% of the class has gotten that question right. They may realize, wow, maybe that's something that we need to address right away when this quiz is over, and go back and look at it, instead of collecting the quizzes or the tests, taking them home, grading them if they get a chance, and getting feedback in a day or two. They can get immediate feedback, and that's been a pretty positive benefit. We talked about the global access for our students too. Belding isn't a big town. It's kind of close to Grand Rapids, but not super close to any big city. But what the iPads have done for our students, we've got a lot of students who probably could not have afforded this without the school stepping in to help. But it's given our students the same opportunities as anybody in Los Angeles or Chicago or New York or London or Beijing or anywhere across the world, which is a great thing. One great example I've used when we were talking about this and having our parent meetings this summer before firing this up, was I'd seen a project about a class in New York City that was doing a social studies class that was doing a project on the American Revolution. And instead of just learning facts and figures and making a presentation, their teacher had contacted a teacher, same grade, a high school class in London. and they were going to have a debate. Gave them 2 weeks, I believe. They were going to have a debate at the end of 2 weeks and discuss the school from New York was going to discuss the American viewpoint. The school in London was going to discuss the British viewpoint of the American Revolution. So two very, very different angles on that. But I thought that was very interesting. And they were going to be able to debate live via Skype or FaceTime or whatever they were going to do. So kind of a neat thing. So just one more thing that technology can do that would never have been dreamed of before. You know, the world is changing. How we prepare to educate students and keep pace is something that's very, very important. If we want to be able to continue to grow and build leaders for the next century, we need to change how, not only what we teach, but how we teach it, and the willingness to do that and prepare our students is going to make all the difference in the world. This has been a great thing. I like doing this as well. Not necessarily the most comfortable thing for people. I know our staff had a hard time getting used to it, but it's been great. Thanks. See you soon.